mentality is a whirlwind. Where to begin? Start by saying I'm harder than ever. Took life's conditioning like bones to microfractures. You gon' feel it when connects to jawline. Written words to notes under ledger. It's not minor science. Take you to the highest climate. Mission, suffocate, planet death, experience, resuscitate, easy way to look back on mistakes, no regrets. Belly the Beast, quote, revolt, network, overrated, liking and sharing, used to liking and sharing, and then Facebook came out, nonsense, hell's expanded, the truth is here, be a witness, time for basics, face it, post this, should've stayed clear, say faced and booked it. Should've say faced and booked it. Should've say faced and booked it. Should've say faced and booked it. Yo, this is Willie Bean, man. Mr. I mean what I say what I mean. We got the Juice 100 Proof No Chaser. Thanks for tuning in to Swim TV. Bars is back. Crack tap. Yeah, you know how we get down, baby. Yeah, you can tell I'm getting more comfortable with doing this, you know what I mean? So, how y'all feeling? This is liquid knowledge pouring into you. I just want to touch on a couple of things. This is basically a recap on my expert opinions episode with Jay Farrell on the show and the things that they talked about and all of that. So I'm going to be covering like 2 or 3 topics that they had on the episode that I felt that I can kind of touch on. So just recapping over some of the things that they were doing. Jay Farrell did his thing. As y'all know how he does his voices and comparisons. He was crazy. He did Jay-Z, DMX. He told a crazy DMX story. It was legit. He talked about a couple projects he got coming out. He has a movie that's coming out. And he has, I believe it's an album that's coming out where he's doing those comparisons and those characters that we know and love and artists featuring himself. Doing some crazy music with that. You know, Math Hoffa has an album coming out. I can't remember all I sound bad with names, but a lot of the guys that was on the episode had some things that they were promoting and pushing out. So go check out the episode to find that information out, because I really didn't focus on what they were promoting, because I really enjoyed a lot of what they were talking about for the most part and the conversations that they were having. So go check that out. It was crazy dope and all that. So just going to recap on this. The first thing I want to talk about is the portion of when they were talking about battle rap and Cassidy, having Cassidy and versus Lloyd Banks, and they were basing it off of a few narratives, if you will. They was giving the battle to Cassidy because Cassidy has already got his feet wet within this new era of battle rap, and basing it off of because Lloyd Banks is monotone and all of that. They don't think he'll survive in this new era of battle rap. And I gotta salute to Jay Farrell for real. He was I feel like he's a student and a fan of the game. He was spitting bars that Cassie had 20 years ago. Spitting bars that Lloyd Banks had. I mean, every single word. It was crazy. Like, do I have the utmost respect for him. Me as an artist, like, I love people's creativity and hearing their bars and stuff like that, but I quickly forget because I don't want to recycle or recreate something that somebody already did. You know what I mean? I want to see how well I can come up with a line or a bar. Like, so I'm a songwriter, so I don't really target as far as, you know, battle rap style of format of writing. So I'm almost like a storytelling kind of, you know, songwriter, if you will. So, but like I said, you can tell when you hearing that shit. You know when you hearing it. You know what I mean? So, with them talking about battle rap and the way that battle rap is in this new era compared to the old era, I think it's a contradiction in that because they talk about small room, talk about big room. at the end of the day, you can only compare it to what you want to compare it to. What I mean by that is, when you know you're in a big room with a huge crowd, people just want to be entertained. They're not really wanting to hear bars and that and so on and so forth. This is the reason why battle rap in this new area is opinionated. Because it's opinionated based on all the factors of, in a big room too. And I mean, and this is basically because of the big room. This is where I feel like the problem is. It's like they want you got to do performance. You got to, you have how you're delivering the bar and all of this extra stuff. All that matters. We get that. But at the end of the day, it's about the bars. So if you're going based on all that roundabout entertainment, and you go back 5 years later and going back and listen to them battles that's 5 years old, you're gonna be like, what the heck? I had this person winning? Like, how? Because you're not worried about all that extra stuff anymore, because you're going back to watch a battle that you felt like was a classic. And then you go back and hear some of that stuff they were spitting, like, what the heck? How I had this person winning? Your legacy for the things that you guys doing depends on that. So all this opinionated stuff, you can go back. It's like, man, I did what I did, but it was an opinionated sport. We was doing what we had to do. Nobody hear that. You know what I mean? Because none of the people that we have in hip hop as legends is talking that crazy stuff. They say, I'm doing me. I'm being the best me and creating the best material and being creative the best way I can do it, because I want to be stamped as a legend in hip hop. And there's certified ones we know that are doing that, right? And this is how we look at the people in battle rap. So they gotta, like I said, they gotta stop saying certain things when it comes to talking about all the theatrics and the entertainment portion of it, because at the end of the day, it's about the bars. I guess I'll give an example. You'll take somebody like Loyd Banks versus, let's use Goods for example. Goods, right? We all know Loyd Banks is gonna tear and shred Goods apart, right? But we all know how this era battle rap is gonna do it. They're gonna have Goods winning the battle 3-0 based on because he killed Loyd Banks with swag. What is that? What is that? They know that's garbage. You shouldn't be even saying that type of garbage. There's no way Goods is beating anybody. Geechee Gotti jacked him up. Literally, he jacked Goods up. There's nothing Goods could say to beat Geechee Gotti. So how on earth do you guys got Goods beating Cassidy? He outswagged Good. I mean, and y'all say, oh, Goods outswagged Cassidy. How? You seen clearly Goods got out of pocket. He wasn't that smooth Henny Goods that y'all was claiming him to be. How he beat him with swag? See, these narratives that y'all keep painting that don't make sense. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense at all. And this is what you got people like me coming out making videos talking about the stuff that y'all saying. Goods did not beat Cassidy. He did alright. He looked good on stage. He had a couple bars, but he stole a couple of them. He tried to recycle a few things and make it his own. But Goods did not beat Cassidy. Period. Cassidy had more bars. He was hitting heavier than Goods was even hitting. Period. At the end of the day, when you go back and look at the battle, you're going to say, dang, Cassidy was really spitting. One thing's for sure, that we also got to be telling our fans and the people that be watching, they need to be rewatching these battles. Give you another example. Math Hoffa said that one of the bars that he spit, he said, it was a line where he said he'll clap over any little shit. He was like, ain't crickets. And dude in the corner was like, see, that be going over people's heads, man. They be sleep. This new era, this is wanted right in your face. And so, do you feel like you lost because nobody in the room got it? What about the people on YouTube watching and caught it? I caught it. I thought it was fire. I caught it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my gosh, that was dope. I caught that. You know what I mean? And that's where I said they got to stop worrying about people that's in the room. They pay for tickets to come see the battle because they're a fan of the sport. They want to be entertained, but they stupid. They're not thinking. They ain't got their thinking caps on. They want to be entertained. So we're not moved by the people in the room. Because we know it takes more than one watch to see who won the battle. Because we're listening. We're listening to what you're saying. And we holding the battle based on that. So who won, who lost, based on what we heard. I'm like I said, watch the battle first for the entertainment. Get excited, get crazy, do all the extra stuff the crowd in the room is doing, and then watch it again. I bet you're gonna have a different opinion based on what you're hearing. Facts. So they gotta stop, and that's again with Mav Hoffa, Jay Farrell, and all them being, you know, fans. Again, they got a responsibility when they telling these, you know, these fans stuff that they go on their shows and talking about. Cassidy did not lose to Goods. He did not. Well, obviously, everybody got him beating Hitman Holla. So if he beat Hitman Holla, which Hitman Holla has more bars, more lyricism than Goods. Fact. If he beat Hitman Holla, he definitely beat Goods. Sorry. You can't. There's no comparison between the two. Cassidy beat Goods. He beat Hitman Holla. He definitely beat Arsenal. Arsenal was a shaky battle, but Arsenal didn't bring his best. Cassidy edged that battle. 2-1, 3-0, whatever you want to call it. Cassidy won every battle that he's been in. Facts. Stop painting those narratives. Oh, he didn't have a good performance. Okay, so if he did, all right. So if he's spitting heavy bars and killing them bar wise, right? But he didn't have performance. But the other person got performance, but he's spitting shit. The straight boo boo. Who wins? The person that was straight, you know, was spitting boo boo and he had entertainment antics and all that, can spit and do this and swing around the room, bump on people and doing all this extra crazy stuff. I could do that. Anybody could do that. So y'all know what it is. Stop the double standard crap when it comes to this era of battle rap. Yes, we agree. We want the artists, we want the battle rappers to have entertainment. We want them to have all the antics and all the other extra stuff, the props and all that. That's cool for entertainment. Ears and eyes, like Cassidy said, I need your ears and eyes. You know what I mean? And that's for real. Cassidy definitely, for the Hitman Holla battle, definitely had the swag, the comfortability to make Hitman look like the smaller guy in the room, because everybody thought Hitman was gonna kill him because he's the #1 entertainer in the room in all his battles, and that's how everybody got Hitman winning a lot of his battles, because he can move a room. He can control a crowd because of his antics, because of his props, because it's a movie. Excuse me. So we all know Cassidy won all his battles. They just don't want to give him. They don't want to give him that. What do you say, that ego boost. You already know Cassidy is a confident individual. People loved and probably like dreamed to kind of had that kind of confidence in anything that they're doing. And Cassidy shows that love, and he tries to inspire people to have that same confidence in themselves. So you see what he's doing now. He got, you know, the world of the battle rappers coming out, where they got team captains and winning $100,000 and getting a record deal. So anybody who is, or think they got bars and think they can spit and think they can battle, go to worldofbattlerappers.com and sign up and register. But yes, that's one of the things I feel like as a community, battle rap community, we have to stop painting those horrible narratives. Like I said, you can't have just entertainment factors and just to keep everyone entertained and really don't have no great material. You know what I mean? That's whack. It's whack. So that means anybody that goes up against Goods, and Goods can literally swag his way into winning battles. That's crazy. I watch Goods just to be entertained, but I know he gonna lose. Come on, let's be real. All right. Second thing, they mentioned about pretty much police brutality, the Black Lives Matter movement, and their experiences and all that, and which I thought was dope for them to do on the platform, drawing awareness to the things that are happening. Salute to the homeboy in the back, as well, was trying to voice a different perspective on how we can address or how to protect ourselves when we come across a situation when we're dealing with police officers. Because that's one thing that we always and we bring forth to the light, is that there's different scenarios and there's different ways you can respond, and there's different ways you can actually keep yourself out of harm's way and out of trouble. I mean, common sense would be is if you're following all the rules and regulations of man-made laws, you're pretty much out. You're pretty much keeping yourself out the way. But that's again, you could be at the wrong place at the wrong time, so to speak. Because there's a lot of fact of the matter is, because me myself, because I'm light skinned, and I get a lot of bag about certain places, excuse me, certain places where I'm at from, my people. You know what I mean? Like, I get bad because I'm light skinned. I can't help that. But I'm still black when it comes to the eyes of a white man and a police officer. I'm still a black man. I don't get any kind of special treatment because I'm light skinned. They treat me as I had the same color pigment as the man next to me if he was dark. He had darker melanin. So as a people and as a race of people, we got to stop doing that to our light skinned brothers as well, because we are brothers of the black community. We don't get any special treatment at all. So, but the brother in the back, he was kind of monotone in the back. At first, he didn't have like a microphone or whatever, and he was basically saying like we need to show our children how to respond to police officers of authority when they ask or tell you to do something. And he's absolutely right. We need to draw awareness to what cops are capable of doing, but to avoid those situations. So Math Hoffa told his story and goes in and says that he was at his friend's house and the cop told him to leave. He was like, I'm just waiting for my boy to come downstairs. The officer said, leave. Okay. One, right, homeboy in the back with the gray and curly fro was like, well, he has every right to be where he's at. He's not soliciting. He told the officer what he was doing. Again, that's a situation. Math Hoffa said what he was doing there, and the officer still said leave. So what do? Leave. Why put yourself in a situation to be harmed or killed possibly over something that the officer could be trigger happy or fearing for his life because you bucking up to him? The man of the law of the land, asks you to leave. You don't know why he's asking you to leave. So he asks you. So in my experience, officer told me to leave. I'm out. I ain't got time to go to nobody's jail. I ain't got time to be fighting for something that's stupid. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Hey, cell phones exist and all that stuff. You be like, all right, officer, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dip out. And just walk down the street and say, hey, bro, the officers and cops are downstairs. They asked me to leave. Like, just meet me up the block. It would avoid him getting, thrown in the cop car, him kicking cops and, going to jail, kicking out windows, when he just could have did what the officer asked him to do. Leave. You know what I mean? Certain situations require you to just keep yourself out the way. Now, homeboy with the gray curly fro said that the officer tried to plant weed on him or his brother. Okay, that's a different scenario. But luckily, nothing happened to them, and they got away with the situation. It doesn't happen for everybody like that, though. You know what I mean? You go and fight back, but you fighting back for what purpose and cause? If something really did happen to you, like, okay, they planted it on you, right? Worst case scenario, your brother was dropped 6 officers. If anybody else was to do that, I feel like the officers would have been calling back up. There would have been guns blazing, because at this point you're resisting arrest and all of that. Luckily, that didn't happen to this gentleman and his brother. You know what I mean? But they fought back. But let's say the worst happened. They get gunned down for what they did, and it gets on the news. Who's gonna tell their story in the right light? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna tell their story in the right light? Like, 2 men was gunned down, resisting arrest. They were swinging and beating up officers, and they retaliated with gunfire because the men were, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they're not gonna say, like, that nobody can tell the story that weed was planted on them. You guys were stopped for suspicion or suspicion to sell narcotics or whatever. They took a chance. It was a risky chance, and it ended up working out in their favor. But it doesn't work like that for everybody. So, like I said, you got to be smart about certain situations. If you keep yourself out the way, or if you do things a little bit smarter, think these kind of things, won't happen. You know what I mean? Jay Farrell told his story, and he was just running and jogging and stuff like that. He said he fit the description. If like I said, he complied. The officers still did what they did to him. So, like I said, every situation is different. You approach every situation different. But they found out who Jay Farrell was, and he got off, and they didn't mess with him. But luckily, if it wasn't for who he was, who knows what the situation would have been. Every situation is different. You know what I mean? So, again, there's good, bad cops, so on and so forth. But if you do things smarter or do things to comply with the laws of the land, keep yourself out the way, things would be cool to some point. But again, like I said, you're still black in America. You could be stopped for any reason. So at least do the necessary things to be just, and just comply. At least you comply. You can save your life at that point. You know what I mean? But It was a great conversation. Got heated at certain points and moments, but I felt like it was great and it was dope. Let's see, what else did they... I think that was pretty much mainly what I wanted to talk about. I don't think there was like a third topic of the episode, but it was a crazy episode. It was mad fire. Jay Pharoah came up with his like top 10 battle rappers and all of that. He named some and gave a description why. And like I said, it was a really great episode. I enjoyed it, especially when the moments got heated and so on and so forth. But that's my recap of my expert opinion with Jay Pharoah and everything that was happening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. This is Swim TV again. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned in to Swim TV. We got the Juice 100 Proof No Chaser. Swim TV, baby.
My mentality is a whirlwind. Where to begin? Start by saying I'm harder than ever. Took life's conditioning, like bones to microfractures. You gon' feel it when connects to jawline. Written words to notes under ledger. It's not minor science. Take you to the highest